Now maybe it's just me, but on the rare occasion when I'm sick enough to visit a professional physician, I assume they actually know about medicine and all the crazy biology stuff that makes me tick. Likewise, when I take my dog to the vet, I'm hoping the vet doesn't ask, "What's that thing then?" while pointing to my border collie up on the bench. So when I walked into an auto parts store this morning, I figured everyone in there actually knew something about car brands. Guess not. For the 278th time this month, one of the bulb holders in the rear taillight of my Lexus died of rust poisoning. Pretty common problem for this particular model, and a pretty easy fix provided you have the time, energy, and a basic understanding of wiring. Okay, it's actually a Toyota Sora, but in certain parts of the world it's also known as a Lexus SC300. And I quite enjoy telling people that I drive a Lexus, as they automatically think something hideously expensive and not the two-door bronzy thing that's parked out the front that's falling to pieces on the inside. So I walked into the parts store looking for a bayonet brake light bulb holder. Usually an easy task, but this time around they'd hidden them behind the counter for some reason. When checking out the section where you'd usually find them, next to the bulbs that go into them, that's usually a great place, a questioning sales guy suddenly appeared. "Can I help you?" "Yeah, I'm looking for a bayonet-style brake light bulb holder." He looked at me like I'd just dropped a fairly noxious fart in the middle of the store. "Oh, for what kind of car?" "It's a Lexus." His bewildered look suddenly changed to one that looked like I'd just dropped my strides and proceeded to lay some waste cable from one side of the store to the other while humming a happy tune. It's also a Toyota model, if that helps." He mumbled something about computers and moved to the counter where he proceeded to hit random keys on the keyboard in the vain hope the store computer would translate my obviously fever-clad ramblings. After a few moments of trying to locate the any key, he called over a co-worker. "This guy's looking for a part for what was it? A Lexingtons?" Look, I know it's school holiday time in this country, but this guy looked way too old to be a work experience kid. How can you work at an auto parts store and have never heard of the brand Lexus? Have you never ever seen the Lexus badge on anything? And exactly how do you get Lexingtons from the word Lexus? Now obviously for this parts store it's far easier to find parts for a car that went out of production back in 1927. I looked it up, apparently there was a brand called Lexington, than it is to source spare bits for a car that came out the same year Boris Yeltsin became president. The year was 1991, for those counting at home. I suddenly had images in my head of really ancient drivers with little wispy beards coming in and asking for a £5 tin of processed corn syrup to hand crank through their Lexington to get to church and back. "You want parts for a Japanese car, you say, governor? Why, are they making cars now?" I must have missed the time warp near the automatic doors when I walked in. Thankfully, someone who knew what a bulb holder was, and ultimately what cars were, found me a generic part that would fit just fine. Hopefully too, when I left, they also gave the first sales guy a car magazine and circled the big L symbol for Lexus. The good news is, if I somehow do inherit a Lexingtons from 1927, I know where to go if the brake lights suddenly fail, or if I need some corn syrup for anything.